All right. Looks like we're live. I don't have McCrae with me, as y'all can tell. He's with Judd. Y'all may have seen that picture on Twitter. Hanging out. Didn't even want to bother him. Didn't even text him this morning. Just seen a lot of crap on Twitter. I just kind of wanted to address. So I apologize since I don't have anybody here to co-host with me. If I stammer, verbal pauses, I don't know. As much of stuff like that. My first time to navigate the ship by myself. So you have to bear with me. But there's kind of a lot of stuff I want to talk about. I'm going to keep this short, probably like 15 minutes or so is what I'm shooting for. Okay, let's start with Zach Attack. Obviously, this is going to be full of spoilers, so if you don't know what's going on, just, I'm sorry, but turn off. Obviously, he's going to go home. I hate to see it, but Zach's been a great character in this game. He's been a lot of fun to watch. His gameplay has been I tweeted out like kind of a devil may care attitude, but I love it. I think that's what people love about Zach. He's been a joy to watch, and it aggravates me to no end that at some point Frankie turned Team America as a weapon to get Zach out of the house, because that's basically what it's been this entire game, and I've hated that. Zach brings. How Dan Giesling, McCrae and I were talking about this the other day, where Dan Giesling, he knew when the cameras were on, he kind of worked it. It came across that way. It came across as, the cameras are on and he's hot dogging a little bit, but not, and almost like a local theater actor would do. And no slight to Dan. I mean, obviously his name gets brought up in the conversation of best game players of all time, so it's no slight to him. What I'm doing is I want to add emphasis to Zach's showmanship, that with the poems he recites, the speeches he gives, just his whole attitude, his meltdowns in the diary room even are really a joy. He's somebody that I've enjoyed watching more than I've enjoyed watching in several past seasons. He's very entertaining, and I know everybody's got their fingers crossed out there. Zach Attack will get back in the house. The renom rule that people are fussing about on Twitter, that's not going to happen. Scratch that. Look at it this way. Production, they got more people coming back if they bring Zach back in a future season, because they want to see him again. They're not going to bring him back. Just forget that. That's more of a suggestion. Brendan tweeted out that basically he understood it as a suggestion more than like a rule in a way, and that's exactly how I interpret it. But the cue ball incident, where I assume he was going to try to plant that on somebody to pass blame off. I mean, it just hurt to watch. It hurt to watch. But let's move on from Zach. We'll bounce around to Zach a lot during this conversation. He comes up quite a bit, and I'm going to forget some stuff too. But I want to go on to Derek's game and the problems with it. And one of the things that I see is Derek's game has been really, really good, really thorough. I mean, he's able to work it, and reason being, I think, is because he's very level-headed, very logical. He partnered up with Cody, who is, of all the guys in the house, the most reasonable, logical, easygoing person you can expect to not explode or melt down of the guys to work with in the house. So he got him a great partner in Cody and the Hitmen, and I was really glad to see that form and continue to be strong and loyal. The thing is with Derek's game that makes it seem to us so dominant, but not in the house. Everybody's like, why can't they see that Derek's running the show? And the reason is because Derek has been put in there with this gentleman right here. Let me see if I can do this. Beast Mode Cowboy, okay? Beast Mode Cowboy and Frankie Darling, okay? There's Frankie. Two people that just by nature think that they are running everything. They're the stars of the show. It's Beast Mode Cowboy. Beast Mode Cowboy still thinks there's a bomb squad, which I think is just comical. And every time he mentions doing things for the bomb squad, I LOL. Anyway, Frankie's one of those. I'm Frankie. I'm Frankie J. Grande. I am, I'm Ariana Grande's big brother. I'm running this house. Everybody loves me. You think I'm shady, but guess what? I'm still here playing. I want to comp by myself. Okay, that's fine and dandy. But those are the personalities that Derek's got out in front of him. And he's partnered with Cody, who's not one of those type of personalities necessarily. So it's allowing them to do a lot of background work, and it's been very successful, and it's been fun to watch. However, the biggest flaw in Derek's game, and I think that if you disagree with me, follow me, Ed Spencer B. Clausen, like hashtag OTB. I think somebody else uses that, but just, I don't know. We'll figure out some hashtags. Maybe I don't know. We'll figure something out later. But just follow me and ask questions. You disagree with me, I mean, engage me in conversation. I'm really accessible on Twitter. McCrae is also, bring him in on the argument, and let's hash this out, because there's nothing McCrae or I love more than talking Big Brother. So engage us if you disagree with me or you want to add something. I think that the biggest problem with Derek's game is he's thought that Team America was going to be enough to keep Donnie, like trusting him and working that relationship. That's really kind of all he's fostered with Donnie. Donnie's suspicious as shit of Derek, and the reason Donnie can't do anything is Donnie can't. Donnie's smart enough to know he needs to keep his mouth shut until he gets some allies. And that's the thing with this twist on I guess Thursday when house guest returns. I mean, like, anybody that comes in that house is going to work with Donnie, and that is Derek's biggest flaw in this game, is he's totally discredited and discounted Donnie. And I think that really could bite him in the ass, because anybody that comes back in will work with Donnie. I mean, please tell me how I'm wrong there. I think that anybody will work with him. I think that Derek could still be safe if with whoever comes in, because there's going to be a lot of hostility towards Frankie, and so maybe he'll be the target. That'll be a good time for Derek to dismantle the detonators and push forward to the last phase of the game, which is really what they're getting at. So, I mean, Derek's a smart cookie. I've loved watching him play, and I don't expect him to do anything less than keep manipulating this into. I mean, he's basically manipulating these people's personalities, and it's really fun to watch. And I'm glad that the CBS, the show, the broadcast episode, is showing it. I mean, I guess they would have to be if you really were believing Frankie and Beast Mode running the house. I guess you'd just be, not paying attention, but. Derek's getting a good edit and deserving at it. And let's see. Okay, Cody and Christine, like, they get a lot of crap about the hair twirling and the perceived cuddling and all this kind of stuff. And I know that Tim, Christine's husband, has gotten a lot of shit, a lot of flack on Twitter about it, and I'm sure on other social medias, but only seen on Twitter. But my comment to that is this: that house is like a barnyard. You just kind of lay around with people. You lay around on beds, you lay around, you talk, and it's these touches aren't sexual. They're very soothing in nature. They're things are gonna be okay. Don't worry. And to be honest with you, Christine touching Cody's hair is a more social game than Donnie Thompson has had from day one. Okay, so like I think that the people that are going off on Twitter about that are a bunch of people that are basically jealous they're not laying around twirling Cody's hair. They're, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, and whatever. If Marilyn's at work right now, and if she was twirling her pharmacist's hair, that would be a problem for me, absolutely. However, they're not locked into place. There's no, I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's no situation in which Marilyn doing that outside world is okay, and that's what people are putting into the game. And it does. Your outside world activities do not exist in this game. This game exists to cut somebody's throat every week until you have $500,000 in your bank account. It's not to get in there and run for mayor or basically to perform the activities, try to tell all book on how to be a wonderful wife on a reality TV show. I mean, they haven't done anything inappropriate. If you think twirling hair is really inappropriate, I mean, it's just, like I said, it's a soothing touch, and it makes Cody feel comfortable in the house. It makes Christine feel comfortable that she's got somebody to talk to, and you go to a very primitive place in the Big Brother house. It's very primitive instincts. There's no outside influence. There's nothing new coming in. And I know it's a short amount of days, but it's really interesting how quickly you resort to this, because the house is designed for people to lay around and talk. When you lay around, what I mean is that you just don't. I mean, you know what I'm saying. You get comfortable with these people, and that's just part of it. So anyway, to sum that up, if anybody thinks that Cody and Christine are going to run off after the show, they're out of their mind. Christine's going to go back to Tim, whom she loves, absolute, and is a good man. They have a great relationship, and she's in there advancing her game. And I stand by my statement that her making Cody feel comfortable and soothing him in a tense environment and being warm and welcoming to him is more social game than Donnie's played. So let's go to shit talking. There's been a lot of shit talking about Zach this past couple days, and I know it's been hard for a lot of Zach fans to watch. And what I tell you is this: if you're watching the live feeds, you don't like what they're talking about, watch another camera, turn it off, watch YouTube videos of your favorite montages of Zach, and just get so excited that when he walks out of those doors on Thursday night and the roar of the fucking crowd that is stoked to see the Zach Rance in person walk out on stage, it's going to spin him on his heels, y'all. Everybody in that house is going to hear those screams, and their minds are going to be blown at the love that Zach has. So please don't feel sorry for him. Don't feel sorry for him. Big Brother's not necessarily about the money. Zach has won people's hearts. People love Zach. Zach, to me, is, I don't work in casting production, but I would like to see him back at some point. I'd like to watch him, so I think a lot of people feel that way, and I think that if you love Zach, you just support that and support Zach. Don't bash these people for talking shit, because, like, I talk my fair share of shit in the house, and anything that hurt feelings, I apologize for. But in the game, you've got to understand it like this: you're making common enemies. You're building bonds by saying we all hate that person, and that is very, very strong. It's very strong to build bonds that way, to have mutual, and it does seem to be hate. It does seem to be hate, but it's really not. These people will get out and they will love each other after the show. So, and the fans need to remember that this is a part of these people's lives that they're able to share that common bond with, and all the tumultuous times and the uneasiness and the lies and that kind of stuff. That stuff should be put to rest. And because it is just a game, it's nothing that no way you would treat anybody in the outside world. It's strictly a means to win money. And this bad mouthing, yes, it is hard to hear, but at the same time, it is game. Frankie doesn't hate anybody. Victoria doesn't want to kill Zach or anything. It's just a frustration, and with no way to relieve this pressure, it builds up, and it's said tongue-in-cheek. Obviously, nobody means that they want to hurt or kill. It's just everybody out there, everybody here that's going to watch this video will have said, and probably will say today, something that is just exaggeration, something tongue-in-cheek, something that would be deemed inappropriate if thousands of people were watching and harshly judging because you were talking about somebody that they dearly loved and closely related to on the show, somebody like Zach. So, just the way things fall out, the house always gets to a point where people are upset with each other. You've got to keep in mind, too, these people are fighting for $500,000. This isn't just for some, name on the top of a Wikipedia page. It's for life-changing money. Everybody in there, I think, could, obviously can use this money. It could go to a lot of good. If Frankie wants to build, schools in Africa, that's wonderful. It's what he chooses to do with it, but it's no more important than what Caleb would do with it to better his life, or what Zach would, or what Donnie would, or any of them. It's to me, it's no more important. Whatever you do with the money is wonderful and fine, but it should not give you an advantage. If you give somebody a sympathetic advantage in there to give it to a charity, that's 100% game. You can't hold anybody to that. You can't make anybody give the money to charity after they win it. So, all right, I'm about to wrap up. I know that y'all are probably tired of my rant here. Let's see. I think I've covered about everything I wanted to cover. The returning juror is going to be exciting. I know I said that they're going to work with Donnie. I still believe that. A couple shout-outs I want to give. I want to give a shout-out to Devin Shepard. Man, he carries himself very well on Twitter and social media. He is a very nice stand-up dude. He took all the criticism that he received this season and just smiled through it. And he's really a stand-up guy, and I can't wait to meet you in person, Devin. Brittany Martinez, I've got your DM. I'm sorry I've not responded to you yet. McCrae and I will be interviewing you very soon. McCrae is in Tennessee right now, moving, and he's on vacation, going to be gone unknown amount of time. We will sit down and interview you. Hopefully it will be sometime in the next couple of days. We'll be able to sit down with you. Adam Pock. Adam BB13. I love Adam. His ALS bucket ice. His father passed away of ALS, and his ice bucket challenge was very cool. His slip and slide. He's a great guy. Love him. Go follow Adam. And I would like to thank Gina Marie for nominating me for the ice bucket challenge. I did it, and I nominated Jeremy McGuire. I thought he was going to use some kind of using the polar ice caps to do it, as he's so badass. McCrae and Howard Overby, we still have no. I mean, they're 24 hours is up, baby. They got to pay, don't they? Somebody pressure those suckers. Anyway, follow me, Ed Spencer B. Clausen. Please argue with me if you don't like what I said on this. Let's talk about it. Also, I read comic books. I love talking about comics because I love the way the art and the story go together, and it's really cool. To me, but if it's not to you, you know me from Big Brother. So I've also got a Twitter called I Talk Comics. It's at I Talk Comics, and you can go there for Twitter reviews. I just don't want to flood up my Twitter for Big Brother stuff with comics because I know that people aren't into it. But you can follow me at I Talk Comics. I follow a lot of people back there and engage in comic book conversations. So anyway, I appreciate y'all watching. Next time we'll be back with McCrae. And anyway. Like I said, follow me at Spencer B. Clausen, and we'll talk later. Thanks. Oh, and this outlay, what is it called? Overlay? Anyway, overlay at the Dolphin Poet, Melissa did this for me. I understand there might be some spacing issues, so if you're going to comment about that, if it is, I'm sorry, we'll get that adjusted. But she kicked ass on this, and I think it's really cool. I hope you like this, the people up here. And McCrae and I will get this adjusted and be adding it to our shows. Thanks, enjoyed it, and subscribe to our YouTube channel on the block. Catch you later.